questions. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce the head coach of the Black Knights, Jeff Monken.
Good afternoon, everyone. Happy to be sitting here victorious finally after a weekend. I thought our guys really played hard, and it was nice to see us put the whole thing together and get some key stops we needed on defense. Make some plays on offense to set up some scores, hit some big plays, and make some plays on special teams that kept some drives alive and really benefited our team. You know, we had some things certainly that we'll need to work on and improve. We weren't perfect by any stretch on Saturday, but it was sure nice for those kids who I think have been playing really, really hard to experience a victory. So we were glad to get it. We were in desperate need of feeling that feeling of victory, and I was glad they were able to do that. And win on the road was big. We hadn't done that in some time here, and hopefully it's just because we're playing better and improving as a football team. So we're certainly going to need to do that this week. Just be the best team we faced all year, and we'll have to play our very best football to have a chance to even be in the game. So we're gonna prepare our team and do the best we can to have them ready for Saturday. And we're looking forward to the unbelievable opportunity that it is to play in such a special setting and a stadium that is renowned for its great crowds. So our kids, I'm sure, are excited, and we're looking forward to the opportunity to play again this Saturday.
Go ahead, Joe.
Joe from WKT. Coach, my ESPN3 connection was lousy, but from what I could see on my computer, the inside running game suddenly seemed to come together. I mean, you watched the tape. Was it something that they finally connected with, something finally clicked?
Oh, I just think we did a better job blocking them this week, and we're able to sustain some blocks a little bit better this week than we have been. And we hit some plays on the perimeter. We hit some pitch plays. You know, Joe had that early play. There was a long pitch play, and certainly when you hit some plays on the perimeter, it's a lot more difficult to have everybody kind of sitting there saying we're going to take the fullback away. And so I think really the outside pitches were helpful in maybe giving those guys some opportunities in there with not as many guys around. So it's it's good to see those guys get going and get the fullback going. And I thought the other thing that you could see, and certainly we did in watching the film, that I think our B-backs broke a lot of tackles, a lot more than they had this year. They ran hard and ran through some tackles, ran out of some things, and that was key for them to gain those extra yards. So I really thought those guys ran hard, did a nice job.
Within the boundaries of the HIPAA rules, how's Bradshaw, and who's your quarterback this Saturday?
Well, we're hopeful that he'll be healthy and be able to play this Saturday. Right now, we don't know, and he didn't play the second half, and had we been able to play him, we would. But we got a great training staff. I know TK and the crew down there will take great care of him and have him as close as we can be to being ready. And the good news is I thought AJ did a great job when he came in off the bench and kept the game going, made some really good plays himself with the ball and throwing the ball, and so that was positive. I hope we'll have Bradshaw ready to go and have both of those guys available to play.
Coach, when you were up by 19, then they got it down to 6. Was it like a little uh-oh in the back of your head going, and were you happy the way you guys put it away?
Oh, I was really happy with the way the guys responded to that, and there was no panic. I mean, it's more being ticked off about giving up a couple of scores, and we gave up one score, and we turned right around and fumbled the second play of the next drive and gave them a short field, and then they had a one-play drive, and we missed an assignment, had a guy out of position, and so that was frustrating. But it was just more being ticked off about letting them come back and cut it to 6 than it was concerned or uh-oh feeling. Our guys responded, went and got a score, got a stop, scored again, did it 4 times in a row there. So I thought they did a nice job coming back off of that close lead there in the third quarter.
Go ahead, Sal.
Hey, Coach, how challenging will the atmosphere be for the team this week?
I don't know. I've never been there, so I've not experienced a game there as a player, coach, or fan. So I can't tell you how difficult it's going to be. I can only imagine with that many people in one stadium that it's probably going to be pretty loud. And I understand that they've got an unbelievable student section, and I know they've got a passionate fan base. And that very well maybe create some challenges for us, but I don't know. And we'll try to prepare for those. I don't know that you can ever completely be ready for a stadium that you're unfamiliar with, but I'm sure it's going to be loud, and we'll have to deal with it.
The offensive line play against Eastern Michigan, there was some shuffle and there were some guys banged up. Can you talk about how they responded in the game?
We had quite a few guys play and had some guys move around. Gilbert played, I guess he played a couple, maybe 3 different positions. I know he played both guard and tackle, and I can't recall off the top of my head if he played both sides at guard. But we had Mike Houghton in the Aviz, and Colby Enegren also played guard, so that's 4 different guys playing that position. Rick Kurtz was playing left tackle for us. Brian Alexander, I thought, played a really good game, and he was hurt a little bit in practice last week. We weren't sure how well he was going to be able to perform, but I thought he did a nice job. We had a lot of guys play, and so I thought that was positive. We were able to keep the ball going or keep the ball moving, and it didn't seem to affect too much our ability to be able to run the football.
Let's go to those joining us via teleconference. Please state your name and organization and ask your question of Coach.
Yes, this is Charles Reeves with GoBlackKnights.com. First of all, congratulations, Coach, on your win last Saturday. Although Penn State is ranked 110th in total offense, their quarterback, Christian Hackenberg, who's a traditional kind of post-out quarterback, is coming off his best game last week, where I think he threw for 296 yards and 3 touchdowns. What is the biggest challenge that he represents for your defense?
Well, he's a talented player, and he had a really good year last year. He's a good quarterback, and then he's got some talented receivers. He's got a great group of skill guys that he can throw the ball to, and they do spread the ball around and get the field spread out. And we saw that against San Diego State on Saturday, and just their ability to be able to do that. So he gets a good amount of time to throw the ball to. He's got a really good offensive line. They do a great job protecting him. Just that system and what they do, they keep getting better the more they play. And it's really, you can see the kind of the trend, kind of like they were at Vanderbilt the first year, and just got so much better the next year, and then the next year, and the more their kids play in that system, the better they're going to get, and the more comfortable they're going to be, and I think that's becoming very apparent here as they go through this second season.
Okay, and on the other side of the ball, you have your 6'4", 223-pound nose tackle, Austin Johnson, who's not only a big guy, but he's very athletic. He demonstrated that when he picked up a fumble and ran 71 yards for a touchdown. Is there anything different from a blocking scheme point of view that you have to do against a player like Johnson?
Their defensive line is a really good group all around. I think I saw where they had over 20 tackles for losses just in the defensive line unit, which is really impressive. They play good defense, and I have tremendous respect for the coaches there. Bob Shoup was the defensive coordinator at William & Mary when we faced them in the playoffs in 2010. Brent Pry was our defensive coordinator at Georgia Southern in 2010, and he's an outstanding football coach. I know they're going to have those guys positioned and ready and prepared for what we do. They're good tacklers. They're big. They're going to be really long and athletic.
Hasn't happened in a while. Interesting retail.
Ron, I'm glad we bring you these things, I tell you. You even showed up on time this week.
As you were saying, Coach.
But they do a really good job on defense. And, you know, the tough thing about having guys that are big and stout like that on defense is having to get movement on them at the line of scrimmage and at the point of attack. And it's a lot of the reason we run the offense that we do. And some of those plays that we run, we don't have to block those guys. So that's really probably going to be our best chance to block them is not block them at all, and to try to read them on the option plays.
Thank you.
Any other questions for those joining us via teleconference?
Coach, Penn State of the American Legion, congratulations on the win last week. Just wanted to ask you a little bit about the tremendous running game that you had on Saturday, 556 yards. Just a little bit about Aaron Kemper had a big day, and just again, what was it about the offensive line that really helped them have such a good performance leading the running, helping the running game?
I think the guys have just done a better job. They've improved, and I hope we're getting better as a football team. I think that's, you know, hopefully that's an indication that we're getting better. And we did a nice job blocking on the perimeter, and hit some big plays on the perimeter, as I said, and that kind of stretches things out a little bit for those guys that normally find themselves inside the tackle box, trying to keep the inside run game from going. If they've got to contribute on the perimeter, then there's fewer bodies to tackle the B-back. So I think our staff did a good job of coming up with a game plan for that particular game, and we adjusted on the run. I said after the game, they didn't line up in the defense that we really anticipated, but our guys made a good adjustment. Brent called a good game and gave those guys a chance to succeed, and we did a good job blocking them.
Thanks, Coach.
Other questions for those via teleconference?
Yeah, hello?
You go ahead.
I'm from Penn State Saturday Legion, Penn Martell, and I just have a few questions, or a question on, your players have to balance three things instead of two, what a typical student athlete does. They have to do academics, football, and then they also prepare for the service. How do they balance an additional thing that carries so much magnitude?
The additional thing being the military part, you mean?
Yeah. How does all those three things blend together and they can balance everything?
This institution's been doing that for well over 200 years, and they've got it down pretty good. And I think the credit goes to the United States Military Academy itself, and just the organization that it is, and in giving these guys an opportunity to be able to succeed in all that they do is really similar to every student we have here at our institution. They all have a challenging class load. They are all responsible for their military duties in addition to their schoolwork, and everybody here takes part in some kind of an activity or a sport throughout the year. So though they may not be a varsity athlete as it would be, or one of our NCAA competition sports, they're all doing something, and they all have to balance. And I think part of the education here, and part of the experience is just learning to do that, is to be able to manage all of those things and be able to do them at a very high level. And obviously we've got to play football a little higher level. We're not winning as many football games as we'd like to right now, but I'm confident that we can here, and I think a lot of that we'll find will be attributed to the fact that these guys are challenged at such a high level, doing so many things, that the self-discipline and the mental toughness that it takes to be able to do that will also help us succeed as a football program.